Alright guys, for this video we're still going to work with slope-intercept form, but now we're going to reverse the process. Given a certain amount of information, we're going to get the equation in slope-intercept form. That's going to be our answer. So before we were given the equation and we graphed, now we're going to be given the graph of the line and we're going to get the equation. So we're really just reversing the process right here. You can see I still have main things right here. This is real important. Right, y equals mx plus b is slope-intercept form, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. Now if we look at the first two are very simple, very straightforward, saying we want to write the equation of the line using the following information. Well, if I want to get it in slope-intercept form, the only two things I need are the slope and the y-intercept, and they give them to us for 1 and 2. So for number 1, if they tell us the slope is 3, well that's like saying, alright, m equals 3. If they give us that the y-intercept is -4, well that's just like saying b equals -4. So all I do is I take the 3, I plug it in for m, I take the -4, I plug it in for b. So this equation is just y equals 3x and then -4. Very simple. If I look at number 2, well, the slope's 2/5, so m is going to be 2/5. If the y-intercept's -6, then b is going to equal -6. So when I plug those back into slope-intercept form, our equation, our linear equation, is y equals 2/5 x minus 6. And that's it right there. Okay, we're going to move on to number 3. Now the bulk of the work is going to be, if we have the graph of the line, we're going to be able to get the equation of the line. And I just want to find m and I want to find b. It's that simple. Okay, let's look at number 3. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Now you can see I have 2 points highlighted, and one of the points, remember I always want to get b. Well, what's b? That's the y-intercept. That's this point right here. And if I look, it's what? Y equals 1, y equals 2. So right away, I know that b equals 2. The only other thing I have to get is m. I have to get the slope. Well, to get the slope, remember, I need 2 points. And I'm just going to count rise over run to give me the slope. So let's get the laser here. I'm going to count from here. I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4 units. So I went up 4. So that tells me that the rise is 4. And then the run's going to be, let's see, I went up 1, whoops. The laser, I went up from here, I went up 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to go to the right, so the run is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my slope is 4/5. And that's it. I have m and I have b. When I put it together, my answer is y equals 4/5 x. Alright, so my equation is y equals 4/5 x and then plus 2. So from the graph, let's see first where it hits the y-intercept, and then let's count rise over run to get the slope. Let's do one more. Let's do number 5. Now first thing I notice, like number 3, see how this line's going up left to right? That's why I get a positive slope. If I take a look at number 5, this line is falling left to right. All right, see how left to right this is going down? So this is telling me I better get a negative slope. Now first thing, I want to notice what b is. All right, b is where it hits the y-axis, and it's this point right here. So if this is the origin, I go down 1. That's telling me that's what, -1? So my b value is -1. Now let's use slope. All right, if I use slope, again, it doesn't matter what point I start with. Let's say I begin with this. So I'm going to go up 1. So I'm level with that second point. So if I go up 1, my rise is +1. Alright, so my rise is +1. So I went up 1. And then if you look here, I'm going to the left. Now since I'm going to the left, the run is going to be negative. Right? So I'm going to go to the left 1, 2, 3 units. So my run is -3. Right? And I get that negative slope there because the line goes down left to right. So when I put it together, I have y equals -1/3 x plus 1. All right, main thing to remember there, this line went down left to right, so that's why I get a negative slope. All right, so same thing. We want to look at graphs. We first want to find B, see where it hits the y-axis, and then use rise over run to get M.